Hey there, and welcome to the Wix website tutorial for beginners. This is the fourth video in a 5-part series where I walk you through my process of building out a website in the new Wix Editor X Builder. In this video, we will be going through my quality assurance process. First, we will start off by reviewing the copy and images and making sure that they align with the content doc and that there are no typos. Afterwards, we will review the overall design of the page and refine anything we missed in our last video. And finally, we will browser/device test to make sure our site functions like it should on as many screens as possible. So first up is copy and images. In this step, we're going to check our page's content for any typos, look for any out of place text that doesn't support the story of the page, and we're going to make sure that all of our images support the text that they are paired with. Next up is going to be design layout. So I'm going to start by going in here, selecting the hero section, going into the inspector. We have a minimum height of 400 pixels set here. I'm going to put this to 0 so that it has none, and then I'm going to add 50 pixel padding on the top, 50 pixel padding on the bottom. Then I'm going to select the stack, go into the breadcrumbs stack, align to middle, select the form, and here I want to add a little negative space right here, so I'm going to go ahead and bring this up to 20 pixels top margin. It says a 14 pixel, 14, yeah, I like 20 there. And then I'm going to, actually, let's bring this top margin for the thanks for submitting. I want to bring this to maybe about a 5. There we go. Now I'm going to select on the form and align to middle, save, preview, and here it's looking good. So I'm going to want to align to middle when it wraps here. Okay, so I'm going to go into edit site, select the form, align the middle there, save, preview, okay, that looks good right there. And we bring it to the next breakpoint. I'm going to go back into edit site for this breakpoint right here, select the stack, align the middle. All right, save, preview. Once again, gonna bring in these handlebars. This looks good. That looks good. Here it looks like we have a little bit too much gap. So I'm gonna go in and see what we have going on here. Edit site, select the stack. And it looks like the width, yeah, it's too much here. So I'm gonna go ahead and bring this in like that. I'm gonna go 50. Let me move it around, make sure it's getting picked up in there. Put it to 100. Left align. All right, now we're good here. So in our hero section, we're going to check our links, and our start now, I wanted to take them straight to my YouTube channel. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to grab my YouTube link. With this selected, I'm going to hit this little link icon and then page in a new window, web address, paste the URL here, and I want that to open in a new window. I'm going to click done. Learn more. I want them just to scroll down to this section right here. So I'm going to go into the link once again, and I'm going to go to an anchor, and I want this to go to YWatch, which is the section right below. So next we're going to go into our forms. I'm going to select the form, go to form settings. So we have a couple things here. In the settings, go to email notifications, and by default it's going to have your email address where you have your Wix account set up at. You can add a new contributor, but right here, that's fine. We're going to close this out. Just want to make sure it has an email there. I'm going to click preview. I'm going to hit submit first, and you can see it says please fill out this field. So I'm going to put test, submit, please fill out this field. So that works, test.test.com, submit. And thanks for submitting. We have a little message down there, so that's working. I also just received this notification right here. Test@test.com, first name test. Great, so this worked out just fine. If you're following along, go ahead and pause the video and make the same changes to your website. Now we're gonna go ahead and jump to the next section, which is section 2, why watch? So now in this section, I want to bring this title lower. So I'm gonna select the grid, adjust grid, edit grid, and I want this to be auto. And it looks like this title here might have some negative margin to it, so let's go ahead and close this and jump into the inspector. All right, with the inspector open, I can see the width is 99.68%, and we have a negative margin here. So zero that out, now that looks better. Now I'm gonna go and close out my inspector. All right, now that we have the title lined up the way we want to, let's just bring this down. Oh, looks like this area right here expands more than it should on the third breakpoint right here. So let's go to adjust grid, edit grid. Here, we're gonna want to make this auto. That looks good. All right. Keep going. All right. Looks good there. Looks good there. We can hit save. Preview. All right, now we have completed the second section. We can move on to the third section. So now we're gonna move to section 3 and work on channel features. And right off the bat, I wanna go ahead and add some more line space or negative space between this text. So I'm gonna go into edit text, line spacing, and by default it's auto spacing. And when you toggle that off, it goes to 1.4. I'm gonna bring it to 1.7. Or 10, just kidding, 1.7. All right, now that I've added my leading, I'm gonna select the stack, go to the inspector, and going to make sure that this is aligned to the middle. And now it is. I'm gonna bring this in to my next breakpoint. So it looks like here when it wraps, it moves down. So this is a more popular screen size right here, whereas I really don't mind if this is not perfectly in the middle on this screen size. So that looks good there when it breaks. So let's go back to the grid, edit grid, and it's gonna be set to 500. Click done, stretch the image, select the stack, center it, and keep moving down to the next breakpoint. Here, this looks good, but I'm pretty sure this text is gonna wrap. Yes, it does. So I'm gonna select it here, align to center. And it looks like we also have to, this is set to 0 pixels. Let's set this to 500. And double check here. All right. So select the stack now, inspector, and align that to middle. Okay, and let's move into our next breakpoint, which is right here. And this looks good. So here, I'm gonna want to adjust the grid, edit grid. I'm gonna go auto here. Click done. Select the stack. Align that to the middle. All right, that looks good. I'm gonna move to the inspector, top margin, and then we're gonna add 50 pixels to the top, and to the bottom margin, we're gonna add another 50 pixels as well. And now, select, that looks good. Now we have an even height on both top and bottom. And the final viewport, yeah, looks good. You know what, we can even set this to 100% on this viewport. Yeah, that looks good. Okay, let's bounce back out. And let's preview one last time. For the sake of time, I'm going to go ahead and speed up the video and apply the same process and changes that I made in the first subsection to the next two subsections. Alright, now I'm going to bring the speed back to normal playback speed and check everything looks good here. I'm going to go ahead and open it up to a larger browser size. And now we can add our URLs to our buttons. Alright, so now that we have all of our sections set up here, or subsections in this section set up, I'm going to go ahead and start linking everything. And just to review, here we added some line spacing for these paragraph texts, and we just center aligned everything for all the viewports. And then in the last two mobile viewports, we have the height on the bottom row with the copy. We added some top and bottom margin to that stack so that it is always centered in the middle, and we extended the button to 100% full width. Now, for the sake of time, I'm going to go ahead and speed up the video while I link all of these buttons in these subsections. Alright, now that we completed our section 3, we're going to move into section 4, our CTA. So now in our CTA section, we're going to go ahead and grab these handlebars and bring it in here. And it looks like in this viewport, we have the text wrapping. So I think we can actually select this and we can set this to 60% width. Even higher than that, we could probably go 100. But I just want to see here, move to the next viewport, and that's when we get that wrapping. And I'm gonna actually have it wrap sooner in this viewport right here. So I'm gonna select the stack and go to 40. Let's go 50. And now we're wrapping as soon as we get into this viewport. And we're centered. Same in this viewport here. Actually, let's bring this line to the middle. Good. And then in our mobile, we're at 100%. It's align to center or to middle. And then here, so you know what I want to do here, since we wrap the text anyways, I'm going to go ahead and select the stack. We're going to go to 80, 75. 75 does the trick. And here, and as soon as you get into this viewport, and last but not least, so go in here. This text looks a little large. We're at 48. And I think 36 even would do it. So I'm gonna go to 36 here. That's better. And I have the stack selected. With the stack selected, I'm gonna go and put that in the middle. All this looks good. Alright, so now for our CTA, we're going to go ahead and add in our URLs for these two buttons right here. So first is going to be the subscribe button. Select the button, click the link button, put in web address, paste, make sure it opens in a new window, click done, then latest video. I'm going to grab my URL once again, select the button, click on the link, web address, paste, make sure it's in a new window, click done. Gonna hit save, preview, and now it opens in a new tab and offers the visitor to subscribe. Cancel that and let's go back. Click on our latest video and it takes me to my latest video. So that's working out just fine. Now we can move on to our social links. Now for the sake of time, I'm going to speed up the video while I add the URLs to these social links. Nothing new, nothing different here. Going to paste in my social links for Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube, and then make sure that they're opening in a new tab or new window. So that is our social bar, and I think we're all set here. All right, now we're going to move from design layout into compatibility. So here I have Safari open. I'm going to go ahead and scroll through. Everything looks good. All right. Going to test my buttons here. Opens a new tab. All right. That goes down there. Going to test my form out. Before filling out the fields, let me check that they both show an error. Yep. When they're empty, great. Test at test.com. Submit. All right, that went through. Join me now. Okay. All right. All right. Subscribe. Straight to the subscribe. Latest video. Goes to my latest video. Facebook. Twitter. YouTube. Alright, so all of that is working. Why watch, channel features, subscribe, home. So now we're going to just test the browser, responsiveness, each section. Scroll down here. Good. Go back in here. All right, so Safari's been tested. Now let's go ahead and test Google Chrome. Now for the sake of time, I'm going to speed up the video once again because I do the same exact process for these next two browsers, and then I end up going back to Safari because in Safari there's a feature where you can go into the Develop tab, then go into User Agent, and then select Microsoft Edge to test out Windows default browser. Alright guys, so we did it. We've gone through the Q&A process, and all that's left now is to launch our page. If you found this video helpful, please let me know in the comments below. Hit the like button, smash that subscribe button, and be sure to ding that notification bell to find out when I release my next video. In the next video, we'll walk through the process on how to connect a domain name to your new Wix site. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.